Well, hey there team, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to some more Kerbal Space Program. That first bit was well received, so hopefully that's the first of many episodes. So I found this tab with the thanks of someone's comment. It's in the technology section up here in archives, and while it's not 100% what I want, you can sort by all the different planetoids or whatever you want to call them. It is an archive of all my science reports. It's useful. You can have a look here. We could eke out a little bit more science out of these particular things, right? And you can sort of fill in the blanks a little bit by going, okay, situations, surface landed, so you can see launch pad stuff. Flying low is Kerbal shores, but also while flying at Kerbal. And then you've got different biomes here. So while it's not telling me everything, which, to be honest, would probably defeat the point of exploration and try to figure it out on your own, right? It is still pretty good. You can sort of use the log of all your reports that you've taken to try and, I don't know, sort of zero what you might be missing or what you could be eking out some science from, essentially. It's a pretty cool little setup, basically, so I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so just in case people don't know about that, you know, there it is for reference. Now, we've got 195k in the bank anyway, which is pretty bloody cool. 22 research. Can we actually do anything with 22? Oh, yeah, we can get stability. I think we should. Just get the whole tier, you know. But here you go. We're up around the 45s now for the next sort of ones. And we're only on 4, so we're going to have to make some big chunks there. I'm very much keen to try and continue our sort of leaving the planet. Turns out I was right about how I was wrong about burning my thrusters. I feel like I could almost do that again, to be honest, in a second attempt. I wouldn't mind actually taking the old Seeker 3 up there and just seeing how far off the money we are. Now, granted, it's not like we have a return recovery plan, but we'll fucking cross that bridge when we get to it, alright? Don't worry about that. One thing that I might do is actually tool rotate. I believe if we were to rotate it like so and save, it might make it easier to go with the curvature of the planet. Just everyone's different, right? But for me, I think this is how I used to do it, the habit that I was in. Yeah. The only other thing that I might do, actually, yeah, we put a thrust limiter on this. I might actually pull back on the thrust limiter. Let's bring it back to like there. Just because, like, if we weren't hitting flaming hot resistance, then we could potentially turn it up. There's all sorts of theory, like about a slow burn over time versus trying to push it right up, because obviously the harder and faster you go, the more air resistance you're going to get. But there's also the factor that, would you rather burn for 5 seconds of time or 10 seconds of time? You know, like, it actually, time is a huge component to it as well. So I figure we could probably go a bit harder in the paint earlier, and that might get us through the lower, thicker atmosphere faster. We'll give that a go. Save that. Yeah, I think that's how we're going to sort of get the kick off immediately. So what we're going to do differently, obviously we're going to try and burn harder and faster earlier, and that'll carry us up. We didn't have a problem hitting the 70,000, which people confirmed I was right about that number. Oh, wow, you gotta love that sort of artifacting or whatever. But what I'll try and do is actually zoom in and eyeball and figure out which of these things is the actual one that I want to burn along to lengthen out that apoapsis. I'm not sure we're going to have enough fuel in our liquid engine, but still, I'm going to give it a go because you learn by doing. Okay. I guess here we go, and I'm going to... What are these increments at? 10 degrees, 5 degrees at the half nub, I suppose. I might try and walk it to 5 degrees just for the sake of experiment during the sort of initial, for this first booster burn. We'll see if we can hold it 5 degree on this angle. And I think this is with the rotation. All right, here we go. God damn it. No. Come back. Oh, there we go. We're getting some resistance for sure there. All right. How did that go in the end? Did we actually go with the curvature? I think so. And if I check this, apoapsis is at 79. So we're laughing for the moment. All right. Yeah, I'll always struggle with this ball, man, fucking kills me. All right, we're approaching it pretty quick. All right, so we hold to the yellow one. Ah, too bad. That was good though. We were starting to flatten it, right? So at that point, one answer would be... Now let's get rid of this. Can I get rid of my fuel section? Stage it. Oh, I thought I had. Sorry. We'll disconnect that. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. So, arguably we could just bring more fuel and do that. But yeah, look, I think that's the... Consider this is the way the planet wants to rotate. I get the ball upside down, you know? But like, that's east, right? Yeah, the way that the map forces it is that we're heading to the east. But you never know. I know it's supposed to be a surrogate planet Earth, but you never know. Oh wow, look at these things. Yeah, so I think we were burning in the right direction from the beginning. Yeah. Might as well take some here, stabilize that. just in case. Do we log the data? No. We'll take that, let that take a more natural approach. There we go. Land right out here in the ocean. Perfect. So, things are doing all right so far. We almost got into orbit. I'm pretty happy with that. I wonder what sort of science we'll get from that between the reports and just recovering the vessel. I'm curious. Remember, I'm still learning this myself. Oh, there we go. Look at this. Atmospheric wow, we got a fucking shit ton. Upper atmosphere. Kerbals upper atmosphere. Ah. Recover a vessel from suborbital flight. Yeah, so I think that just took out the last little bit of that archived report. If I go back into that archive, look at this. Mystery goo observation from Kerbals upper atmosphere. So this is cool. This, in a way, can give you a little bit of a cheat sheet. It's like, oh, well, look, we could probably squeeze a bit more science out of that. Whereas the recovery of a vessel from suborbital flight, yeah. Look, there's a tiny bit more value to be squeezed out. That's so cool. That's cool. 39's not going to bloody cut it, though. Everything's 45 there. I want to revisit that flight. This is a great success. Probably didn't get any money for it, though. Oh, no, we must have. We must have got money for it. Okay. Jesus. All right. What are we going to do to augment this one here? Well, we were sort of hitting that atmosphere burn a bit too hard. Like, as a rule of thumb, if the ship's going to start turning fucking red from atmospheric resistance, I think that's too much. That's where I'm going to sort of come down on it, right? So let's throttle this back down to 80-ish. Oh, there you go, 80 exactly. So we won't push, because there's sort of like two telegraphs in this game. You can see the wind resistance when it's like white, but then it goes up to like flaming, which presumably will start damaging all your instruments. So let's just say we'll go past white, but not to flaming, is probably, that's our gentleman's agreement for the time being. Okay, so we actually have a large fuel tank, variants available, liquid fuel and oxidizer. Oh, really? What's the difference? Variants available for... Oh, that's just variants available of how it looks. Mass. Tolerance. I'm sort of trying to figure out, like, do you want two of these small ones? Liquid fuel and oxidizer 45, or do you want this bigger one? Surely it makes sense to take the bigger one, right? That doesn't have a decoupler on it. Oh, not that that matters, actually. Right, because we're just going to stick the engine on. As long as there's a decoupler there. Right, so fire, decouple, fire, decouple, fire. Yeah, decoupled. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I can't see why this wouldn't work. It's gonna get us up to about the same level of atmosphere, and we've got a little bit more liquid fuel, and we'll be able to start zeroing whether or where we're at, sort of thing. So what if we go? We might even try 10. I can't make degree symbol, can I? 10 degree booster. Or we'll go stage 1. I'll leave myself a little driving instruction. So we'll test 10 degrees this time. And then I guess liquid burn apo at yellow, because it was the yellow marker. Yeah, good. All right. Seeker 3 A, maybe? Like, it's not like we've radically changed the plan. We've just changed the fuel mixtures and added more fuel, to be honest. So it hasn't had a radical change. All right, let's go. Whew. Love this. Okay, yeah, so... What the fuck? Because the little ball doesn't move. What do we got here? North? But it's not really north because we're sort of upside down. It's like an upside down ball, right? North. Yeah, all I've got to go on is the N. But these will probably be back to front then. Oh my goodness. I was never made for rocketry. Alright, but if we do that and then we press up, we will list that way, which I believe is the correct way. We'll find out, especially now that we're going to push out to 10 degrees. It should be interesting. Alright, here we go. Oh, we pressed down, sorry. Stop that. Too much. It's more like bloody 20 degrees, 15, 20. I'm doing my best. Alright, well, we're getting fire. Oh, we just hit it too, so that's probably pretty bloody good. Alright, how have we gone this time? Apoapsis is 57. That's interesting. I mean, I guess we did weigh a lot more. What's that? So we use up a little bit of liquid fuel. Ultimately, if I can help it, I don't want that to be the case. You know what I mean? I kind of want to keep it all separate. Maybe I am doing it back to front. It's hard to tell. There's the Space Center. And the ocean's east. So I should be aiming east? Yeah. So I should be aiming with the ocean, ultimately. I guess there's like no wind resistance up here, right? Not really. Like, do I want to be just a slow burn or burn over time? I guess it doesn't make a huge difference. Actually, you'd want it to be consistent with the apoapsis, right? Oh, look at that. Look at that! Oh. I see success when I see that. Nice, that was cool. Oh shit, I should take readings. Especially while I'm up here. Crew report. Observe go. Log temperature. Nice. Down we go. Man, this is good. I'm enjoying this a lot. I potentially, for my own idiosyncratic stuff, I kind of would want more boost in the booster stage, which is interesting. We came right up to what I would be comfortable with, to be honest, is right when it was turning red when I think is reasonable. But I would like to use the boosters. Well, actually, hang on. Let's consider the science behind it. What is the point of a booster? Truly, what is the point of a booster? Because at the very core, obviously, you would never want to use a booster anyway. Forget about what, we're talking about principles. You would just want a variable throttle liquid engine, right? Why do we take a booster? Because the booster is this hot shot, uncontrollable, fire and forget thing that's really, really cheap to punch through the atmosphere, right? So that booster ultimately punched us through. Look at that. We already had 41 science. Yeah, we didn't get very much out of that. That's fine. So ultimately, that booster did its job. It punched us all the way up to that air resistance pretty quickly. If anything, the only thing to make boosters better would be, infinitely more stages. Say if you had 5 stages, and each stage it pushes you out to the burning resistance of that band of atmosphere. That's the only way I reckon you could min-max it more, right? So hypothetically, we could put a little booster on the end there to push us out even further to apoapsis. But even then, burning that last little bit of fuel worked out pretty well as well. Having said that, regardless, we're going to want to add fuel to the ship anyway, right? Because I didn't have enough to finish the orbit. We'll check our angles as well. I feel like maybe I'm going the wrong way when we launch. We'll try that again as well. But we need to add more fuel, which is probably going to have negative effect on that thrust at the beginning because we're going to be heavier, right? So my thoughts are, well, first things first, we work sensibly. We need more liquid fuel for that phase at the top, and I know it's a bit maybe heavy iterative steps, but this is how I like to work, and our space agency can afford it. We've got 200k. So to me, we would just add a small fuel tank on, right? This is what makes sense to me. Like that. And now we're heavier, so I potentially would want to turn the thrust limiter up. 85. Now my initial thoughts are, okay, well, we're going to actually come up even shorter of orbit, and we had to use a little bit of fuel to get that last bit out. So what we should do, I'm going to put a baby booster on there for another stage to see. This might be overkill, but I don't know. That's the point. The only way to know is to do this. All right, there's a decoupler there. And we'll learn from this whether we should be doing this last stage with liquid fuel, or if we should use this booster. Now, the interesting thing about this booster will be how fucking hard do we... Like, it's only going to be a little hot shot, but presumably we're going to be close to that sort of burning level. So having it thrust at full bore is a scary prospect, but we could always attempt to cut it free if not. So we'll start with full. I think we'll start with full. Actually, you know what? What we should start with is like in the middle, 50. Because then we've got room to go either way. Like, you know, the empirical evidence will inform us whether this is too much boost or it's not enough. So we've got a left and right of experimental arc. If we just go all the way up here and it's too much, then we'll end up just doing this experiment. Okay, so starting in the middle makes sense. It gives us more to learn. All right, so at the very base, we have a boost. No, we don't want to decouple there. And then we have decouple and boost there, yes. Then we have decouple boost there. And then decouple at the end. So this is a Seeker 3A TAC 1. Let's do that, all right? And this time around, we're gonna go 10 degree stage 1. Shit, I don't know. Let's just plan it. Hands off stage 2. Liquid burner yellow. Also, what we want is angle W, just because I was angle S, and I'm gonna go back to front this time to see if that is better. Save. Launch, let's go. Yeah, okay, so I was angling the ship that way when the ocean's this way. I've been doing it back to front. Right? Our path is gonna go up that way. Woo! Not out that way. And I was angling that way. So this is gonna be interesting because we're basically flipping the 10 degrees along with changing a lot of, so we've changed so many variables, it might be tough to figure out what fucks us up here. All right, here we go, I guess. Yeah, off we go. Oh, sass, you dickhead, that was close. I might even put that in my notes until it's muscle memory. Oh, hang on. I'm angling. Now I am angling back to front. Because I've been too busy watching the ball. Alright, hang on. So I was angling the correct way. See this? We are going back to front against it now. That's okay. And I'll just stay hands off for this because I don't want to interfere with my system. That's, okay. A good thing I looked. Alright, okay, so we went back to front there. Apo-App says 48 kilometers. Look at that. That made all the difference. That really fucked our flight. Yeah, look at that. It's gone basically straight up because of it. Oh, crazy. Can we actually salvage this? mean, maybe. I'm guessing this is going to cross over and flip at some point. Good. I'm glad I checked that because, you know, sometimes it's like you have to do it all to figure it out for your own bloody brain to understand what's going on. And mine has fucking limited usability as it is anyway. All right. Can't zoom in anymore. Oh, it makes me a bit sad. Yeah, because of that, we're going hard descent now. Oh, man. Okay. All right. Get some crew reports while we're up here in technical orbit, I suppose. I might as well land this one. +8 science. Yeah, I don't know if I've taken my measurements properly up here before. I did take the temperature, yeah. Very good. SAS. Come on. Oh. Yeah, I might as well take whatever science I can get from this. It's funny, I'm like, oh, am I doing it back to front or? Nope, well, we know we are now, you know. Went from unsure to 100% certain. Pretty bloody quickly. Yeah, that's good. Well, ultimately, my actions on next, I mean, we're going to have to finish up here, will be to essentially take this load out, but we'll just flip the angle. I want to see what happens if we go back to the correct angle. Because our Apple apps has only got up around 45 kilometers. Now, granted, we added extra weight and all that sort of stuff, but seriously, there's no way. A big part of that is because I was going against the curvature of the planet for certain. Oh, excuse me. Oh, but we did get a fuckload of science. Nice. 76, so we'll have a bit to spend. All right, team. Thanks again for joining me. We might just leave it there for the time being, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.